we have a podcast called Remake Hot Take where we talk about new movies that are coming out or some of our old favorites that we're revisiting. And we come up with like wacky and crazy, sometimes smart remake ideas. And this year we were, talking with Ted and kind of partnering with alumni 24 Speed to kind of reimagine a fall component of the 24 Speed Festival, where we took a look at some of our favorite past 24 Speed films and tried to remake them in some way.
Yeah. Yeah. And I will also say, because she is on the call now, and we've done a lot of like discussion about it on whose idea was remake hot take. And we think it actually was Sylvana Smith, who is here with us tonight. We had done a previous podcast called the Zillennial Support Group, where we did like one remake spinoff, and then yeah, this is true. So she had the whole remake idea. So thank you, Sylvana in Scotland at 2 a.m. who is tuning in.
And so we gave everyone 24 hours plus 3 or 4 days, give or take, to turn in films. And we also gave them an optional role for remake, which came about during an episode on Dungeons and Dragons, which Mari and I have never played before, but we are the type that could play it. So we're very interested should anyone be having a Dungeons and Dragons group. But we came up with a list of 20 things that could be switched around or flipped for a remake. And everyone did a role for remake for another added twist that they had to incorporate into their films.
All right, cool. And with that, let's jump into it.
Speed.
Consider it done.
It's just, out there, like, got all this corn, and I was chilling, and it was pretty nice. It was really hot out, and, you know, y'all come down here, and by the way, hey, baby, you want some cookies? Hey, back down, girl. Let's back down. That's how I roll. I gotta go. Damn, you're fast.
That's how I roll. I had fun with you. And I thought you were having fun with me, too.
I can't go back.
I'm not taking you back. I'm taking you down. Yeah, I got it done.
classic.
Someone's been busy.
We're not so different. You and I.
So hard cooking for two. Since it's Valentine's Day, I got us a little treat. Me and you. You're it. Be my Valentine? This is nice. We should eat by candlelight more often. I'm sorry. Am I boring you? What do you mean, me not being fun? I'm having fun. I'm trying to have fun. And maybe if you played, you'd have fun too. But no, I'll play for the both of us. Best day. Kiss me. Smile. You know, nobody's that good, not even me. I'm going for a walk. so hard cooking for two.
What is it?
Oh, sweetie, you do not need to yell. Our connection is just fine. We've been mobile.
This is my normal volume. Look, Mom, I do not have a lot of time right now, okay?
Okay. I was just calling because I heard that there's going to be some snow near you. And I was just making sure that you got the candles I sent because you can never be too careful when it comes to power outages.
I got it.
Well, you do not have to get mad about it.
I am not mad.
Well, with that tone, I can never really tell.
Look, I am just pissed because they are repainting the lobby and they're leaving buckets of red paint everywhere. I keep stepping into this stuff. I look like I murdered someone. Me, I look like I murdered someone.
Okay, well, have you murdered someone?
What? No!
Well, you just have that vibe.
Thanks, Mom. You've always been my number one. And I guess my neighbor has been taking guitar lessons and he won't stop playing. And I hear it everywhere. I hear it everywhere I go. I hear it in my head.
And are we sure there's a guitar?
Damn, I'm getting so good at GarageBand. Hey Mitchie, check me out.
Of course there is a guitar.
Call it mother's intuition. We need to get you out of this place. I told you not to look for an apartment on Craigslist.
I know. You were right again. Is that what you want to hear?
Yes. Anywho, did you get the money that I sent you for utilities?
I did. The gas company should be turning the gas on just in time.
In time for what?
It's nothing. It's just cooking stuff.
You don't cook? Wait, does my little Normie have a date?
Mom, volume. We have Mint Mobile. And it's Norman. Yeah, I guess you could call it that. A date.
Okay, well, remember what I taught you. We don't want this going like last time. So no loud chewing. And for the love of Mike, stop opening up just small cardboard packages with knives. It's just so strange. Your father and I never understood.
It's a viable way of opening packaging. You've never understood me, Mother. Why would you use two blades when you can use one? It's more effective. My mother, ladies and gentlemen, a victim of a capitalist sham.
Okay, well, I don't know about all of that, but at least tell me you stopped smoking.
I'm down to 1 pack a day, Mom.
Norm?
2 packs a day.
Normie!
7! Mom, what do you want me to say? You don't have to scream. We have Mint Mobile.
We have Mint Mobile. Okay, sweetheart. Well, I'll let you go so you can get ready for the date. Are you excited? Do you know what you're gonna say?
I'm going to speak from the heart, Mom. I'm going to let the hearts do the talking.
Oh, that's so sweet. Bruce, we're getting grandkids.
Hey, listen, Mom, I gotta go. My date just texted me, so gotta go. Talk to you later. What am I doing? What am I doing? She might want chips. Nope. Nope. Can't open stuff with that. Nope. There they are.
Stop smoking. Stop opening things with knives. Stop chewing so loudly.
Who? They're here. They're here. Okay. Wish me luck, big guy.
Gloria, what? Come on. Hey, what's up?
Gloria, tell us what's wrong.
Do you know how hard it is to be a mime? It has to be one of the most thankless jobs ever. I think that it's time for me to quit. I'm really sorry about that back there. It's been a tough day for miming. I guess it all started this morning.
Gloria, we need to talk. You never say anything anymore. All you do is move your little hands, and it's getting really annoying, and our relationship is entirely one-sided. But
so I got dumped for following my passions. And things really just got so much worse from there. I was doing my usual Tuesday morning routine.
So it's a box. It looks like a box to me. Okay. You're not very good at this, are you?
It's a jail cell. It's a jail cell. My mind is a fucking prison. Come on, hey! I'm done. So yeah, today was really tough. Miming really tests you, but I'm committed to it. I love it. It's what I want to do, and I think I was born to be a mime. Wait, have I not showed you guys my mime shrine? These are the most influential mimes for me. They've all affected my life in some way or another. Especially right here, Christopher Walken. Yeah, Christopher Walken, you know. I mean, he's a legend. I mean, come on. So, yeah, it took a lot of time to cultivate this mime shrine, but I love it.
Hello? Yeah, this is Ben. Oh, hi Ted. Yeah, I got kicked off the Zoom again. I'm gonna start taking that personally, man. Okay, so what film am I gonna be remaking? Between the Trillionaires and oh yeah, Anna Campion? The mime one? No, I'll do the mime one. Gloria Mime Unknown. Okay, thanks Ted. See you in 24 hours.
Do you know how hard it is to be a mime? It has to be one of the most thankless jobs ever. I think that it's time for me to quit.
It's a jail cell. It's a jail cell. My mind is a fucking prison.
Okay.
Hi.
Excuse me, my assistant normally takes these. Hello.
Hi, Anna. How's it going?
Hello.
This is Ben. Ben Fox from William Mary.
Fox.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm great. I'm in my loft in New York.
Oh.
So chilly. It's Lenny Kravitz's scarf. He gave it to me.
You know Lenny. Let me just cut straight to the chase. I was just contacted by Ted Hogeman, 24.
Edward. Yeah.
Speed. They're we're doing the remake challenge. I've been assigned to remake your film.
Which one?
The mime one. The mime one.
So interesting. I must have missed the email where my agent.
Oh, you didn't know?
I guess I'll have to lower my speaking fee for you. I mean, it's so long ago. I'm trying to think of, what possessed me to make it. I think if I were you, I would stop. I think I would drop out of this and not do it. It was such a remarkable feat. It was so much work. It's just we hit lightning in a bottle. I hit lightning in a bottle. Let me not be humble, right? I often confer with the spirits of Fellini and Hitchcock and such. I visit their graves often on my jet, which I bought with my movie money. I don't think you're gonna be good at it. And it does feel a bit like, doesn't it feel like, Einstein telling a second grader to stop doing his math homework, right? And that is what I'm saying. You shouldn't do it. It's too much. It's too much. You won't be able to do it. I would choose a different film. Yes.
All right, thanks.
Yes, you really don't want to take on Gloria. You really don't want to.
Oh, thank you for your time. Yeah.
Okay. You
All right.
enjoy your Saturday.
All right, thanks. Bye.
Ta-ta. Do let me know if you're in the city.
It's a jail cell. It's a jail cell. My mind is a fucking prison. Come on, hey! What I want to do, and I think I was born to be a mime. Wait, have I not shown you guys my mime shrine? These are the most influential mimes for me. It took a lot of time to cultivate this mime shrine, but I love it. My mind is a My mind is My mind is a fucking prison!
Sound speeds.
You spend so much of your life playing with invisible things. Eventually, you start to wonder if you are invisible yourself. What do you think? Hat on or hat off?
How do you usually perform?
With the hat on, usually.
Then hat on, definitely. But tell me more about that. What makes you feel invisible?
When I'm performing, when I'm doing a show, sometimes it's great and the audience is laughing and groaning and cheering and the whole world just makes sense. But then when it gets quiet, things get so quiet. Sometimes people don't even look at me at all. The audience is silent, and when I'm performing, I'm silent, and that silence sinks in, and the inner monologue starts to take over.
What kind of inner monologue?
The one that says you're not good enough, or that you were crazy for thinking that you ever were. The one that says you've wasted your life and are still wasting it at this very moment. And all I feel is that my mind is like this inescapable prison. I push past that voice, the voice that tells me I'm invisible, but every time it feels like I'm walking into an ever more powerful wind, and I don't know how long I'll be able to keep going.
How did you get into miming to begin with?
Okay, this is gonna sound very silly, but when I was a kid, my parents took me on a little trip to Paris, and we were walking along the Seine, and there was this guy playing an accordion with a tuxedo cat on his shoulder. And that combination of the music and the Eiffel Tower across the river, and the tuxedo cat looking right in my eyes, I knew that's what I had to do, what I had to become. It felt like fate.
So in those quiet moments with the interior monologue, what keeps you going?
Some of it's fear, if I'm being totally honest. I've invested so much into this craft. It's a big part of who I consider myself to be. Sometimes it feels like I'm trapped inside a box. I don't know who I would be if I weren't a mime. It's kind of a crushing feeling. The last few shows have been like that. I feel like I'm getting to the end of my rope. But here's the thing. At the end of the day, all it takes is one. One kid's smile, one passing chuckle, and all the doubts just melt away. This is who I am. This is who I was meant to be.
What about the moments where nobody smiles, nobody laughs?
I guess in those moments I try to hold on to the joy that I felt watching other mimes when I was first starting out. That surprise and delight. And know that as long as I'm giving it all I've got, maybe I can be the one who's smiling. At the end of the day, it only takes one.
Okay, thank you. Okay, welcome back, everybody. Let's give a round of applause to our filmmakers. And now we're hoping we were hoping our filmmakers would be up for some Q&A. So Brooke and Mari, do you have some questions to ask people?
Yes. So I don't want to steal Ted Ghost wrote these questions. I don't want to pretend like I'm stealing your questions.
You're not supposed to talk about the ghostwriter. It's like Fight Club.
Just to give credit where credit is due. So to everyone, what was your role for Remake and how did you work that into your film?
Mine was to change my makeup. I think that was always going to happen. So it was very fortuitous. It worked out well.
It happened in a pretty spectacular way, too.
Well, thank you.
Yeah, ours was just change a major plot point. And again, that's like I mentioned at the start, that's very broad. We can really do anything we wanted with it. But I think so we just ended up choosing to flip sort of the movie around. Instead of one guy going after three, it's three going after one. And I think that allowed us to, I guess, branch out a little more from the original and make it a real remake in a way.
That's so fun that you did it that way. I'm always impressed when people have like more than one friend to include in these videos.
Trust me, we stretched the friends to the limits there because I think there were there's 5 of us total, and one of them left about 2 hours in. So at one point I think it was just Jack. You were the only one who was not on screen. No. It was when we were walking up. That was it. I was the only one not on screen. But yeah, having more friends doesn't exactly make it easier.
I know for me, the therapy thing, I talked about this a little bit before, but I was like, oh, this would be really funny if it was sort of like an interview where basically the person is also kind of accidentally going through therapy.
Yeah, that was a great.
But Brooke and Maria, how about for you?
Yeah, we did a prequel. So we did everything leading up to this date. And I think I think we used that to kind of point out some of the creepiness of this guy. And I mean, it made it a little bit harder on my end because I was trying to replicate my kitchen and it didn't go particularly well. But yeah, it was a fun kind of spin-off of what we had here.
Yeah, we came up with a very clever title of What Comes Before Dinner. It was just appetizers for 2. But yeah, honestly, I liked having that because I think it made us be able to change the tone of the film a lot because Maria and me and Silvana are not like serious creepy people, so we were like, this is perfect. We get to make fun of this guy. And I particularly liked the line about opening the like box of sweethearts with a knife because I was like, why did he do that in the original one? I was like, this is the weirdest man I've ever met. Like, what is this character role that he's developing? So we thought it would be funny to bring in like a secondary character that could like gently point out all of those weird little quirks that he had. But yeah. Are people up for a couple more questions? Ted Ghost wrote a bunch. Cool. Well, Did anyone want to talk about how this kind of challenge compared to just the, as Ben said at the beginning, like the actual 24 speed? Were there any particular challenges that came up with doing a remake versus an original?
Well, for us, when we did last time we did 24, it was one camera setup and no changes of scenery or lighting. This one it was all handheld and a lot of changing scenes and setups. So I don't I don't know if I feel like I'm not the person to answer this just because my experience with last 24 was just like extremely lucky of like being able to do like one thing. So this was a lot harder, I guess.
So kind of, oh, go ahead.
Sorry. And I think that, in one part, there was the nice thing of like, we have the story already, but when you've got that, and now you've got to be like, okay, now I have to do something new with this thing that already exists. I feel like it was a little harder. It added a lot of constraints onto what, I guess, sort of what we could think of and how to take it. So.
Yeah, I think on our end, at least for me, I felt like it made it harder to have like that genre and those like kind of sample. I mean, I think the group that we kind of modeled ours after, I mean, they have very like beautiful shots, and we work in healthcare and education, and we're not very good at that aspect of the competition. So I think that was our challenge, was that it was hard to get those shots in like our general style.
Yeah, I shot mine on my iPhone. I was like, well, this is not cinematically matching the cinematography.
Which is why your phone case was empty.
I just realized that
too. I thought that was just a joke, but
yeah, I definitely saw that as just a really funny joke, especially with the twist at the end. As like foreshadowing.
It was kind of a twist. Also, I was like sick, and I don't know if you can hear it in my voice still. And I like was isolating from my roommate, so I was just in my room the entire time with one phone and a dream. But yeah, but hey, we can say that like we tried to add other like creepy elements. I don't know if you saw at the end, but we tried to hint that this entire phone conversation was also in his mind, because at the end, right next to Ryan Reynolds, it's also my obituary. And I guess with the phone case being the phone in my hand just lends more into the character development. I'm actually going back on what I said. It was purposeful. I did that on purpose.
Yeah. I know for me, it felt like having an actual, like the story already done, I had a lot more to bounce off of and play with. Because it's like, oh, because oftentimes I feel like the most stressful part of 24 Speed is coming up with the initial concept. And so having basically a concept to just really just, okay, I'm taking this and I'm taking this in a weird direction. What weird direction is that felt really nice. So basically the writing probably went fastest of almost any of the writing I've ever done for 24 Speed because of that.
All right.
Main difference.
Oh, go ahead.
Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Main
go
difference
ahead.
for me was just that like I was doing it totally by myself for the first time, really. We did like an editing competition during COVID. And I did that mostly by myself, but with one of my roommates. But this was yeah, just me and then Megan, my girlfriend, sometimes holding the camera. But it was just yeah, smaller crew, less pressure.
You did really well, and the cat was good.
Oh yes, the cat.
Animal talent.
All right. So, what was the best part about remaking a past film?
Being able to bring back the original director.
Yeah, Anna was
That's
great.
a pretty good flex.
So good. Yeah, I texted her, was just like, hey, I got your film. Do you want to like be in it? Do you want to be in this thing? And she was just like, yes. What do I need to do? And we both had that Saturday, just kind of me to do this and uh, her to just. I think she's doing some work, and she just made some time for me, so it was great.
I think for us it might be the opportunity to do I guess something really different or allow us to um, tackle something that we had been interested in maybe doing for a little bit but hadn't really gone all in on, which was like a really choreographed fight scene we thought about for the end. And I don't think normally even though it's something that interests us, it's not something we would, I guess, gravitate towards when trying to come up with something on our own. And I think this gave us a real good reason to actually go for that. And uh, so I want to definitely shout that out, getting the opportunity for something like that.
And I'll piggyback off that. I felt the same way with getting Glory Mime Unknown, which I was like, oh, what would my take on this actually be? And it was something that was fun because it pushed me outside my comfort zone as a writer to like play with more. And it was the same thing you were saying about the action scenes of like, I probably wouldn't gravitate to trying to do that for 24 speed, but because of trying to sort of bounce off of that movie, it pushed me into a place I wouldn't have otherwise gone.
Yeah. Yeah, we touched on it already, but like Jack was saying, I like when and that Mario has mentioned as well, we don't work in the film industry, so it's always fun to get this little challenge to expand our skill sets. And I was talking to Ted like before everyone had hopped on that I did the editing for this one. And I'm like not a sound editor at all, but I was trying to make like the phone call sound so that it would switch over and sound a little bit more like realistic. And an added challenge this year, Silvana, who's also on the call here, she's in Scotland. So I think we had touched on that. This was also an opportunity for us to globally see how we work together. But yeah. Let's see. Did we want to jump into like some film specific questions?
Yeah, I was just saying, and also open it up. If anybody has questions they want to ask other filmmakers, I'll feel free to hop in.
Yeah.
But speaking of fight choreography, Jack, how did you like? How much choreography was involved? Talked about the process of pulling that off.
Thomas, you want to take that or should
Yeah,
I?
I guess we should. So Curtis and this is not actually the first fight scene we've done for Curtis's thesis project in college. We had an entire action scene, but I think this is the first like trying to do actual like hand-to-hand combat.
Yeah.
We did some of this stuff in high school too, because both Curtis and I have about 10 years of martial arts experience, but
Whoa.
that was we were saying we wish we were a few years younger and a few pounds lighter.
Yeah. It's been
We've
a
kind
few
of
minutes.
lost it a little bit.
Yeah.
But the process was honestly, it was just okay, it was kind of just like with any film that we make, we say, okay, here's the space. And it's like placing a camera, except instead of placing the camera, we're placing our fists. And just sort of saying, okay, this is where you'll be, this is where I'll be. Like, first move is this, what's my natural reaction to that? And then just sort of building it step by step and then running it step by step and then adding a new one and then adding a new one. And just drilling it until it feels natural. And then Jack on the camera, which Jack doesn't I was really happy with because the camera is half the choreography, and I don't think we choreographed the camera with Jack really at all besides describing what we wanted, but
Yeah,
he nailed the feeling we were going for. That was awesome.
Also on the camera work, I have to shout out Jack because I know he has never used that camera. I brought the camera to him, and he has never touched that camera before this film. I was like, "Here's the basics. Good luck," and he really pulled it off. But yeah.
So what camera were you all using?
So we finally upgraded our camera away from an iPhone. We're now shooting on a Blackmagic 6K Pro. Which was that was also interesting because this is the first film we've made with that. So it was a real crash course in learning the ins and outs of it. But yeah, as far as the fight scene goes, I gotta say, yeah, it was a lot of fun. We've been wanting to do a fight scene for a speed competition for a while, and this gave us a chance to do it. I only got injured once.
I know. I was gonna ask if anyone got actually kicked or
Yeah,
punched.
so the head smash onto the counter. We ran that multiple times, and I pulled it off flawlessly every single time, except the last time in which I did hit the counter.
And that's the take you used, right?
Yes, that's the take we use.
It looked great.
But we didn't do any takes after that.
Yeah, but I mean, it was fun.
So more than third floor. How long did it take to do those makeup effects? Because that was pretty impressive.
Wait, whose was impressive?
By both of yours, but I mean particularly yours, Brooke.
Yeah. I just looked up I went on Pinterest and I put old lady makeup. And then I screenshotted it. And then I took an eyeliner pencil and I just scrunched up my forehead and then just drew in wrinkles where there were wrinkles. And then I put white powder in my hair to make it a little bit more gray. And then just took the eyeliner pen and just kept doing shadows where there would be darker lines and stuff.
What's also funny is that Brooke has been a Midwestern mom in another one of our videos, in the cup stacker video that we did, I think 2 years ago. So we're wondering if the universes are connected.
Yeah. Well, I think I can do a couple more accents, but that one just comes so naturally to me. So as well, and we kind of wanted to do something that was so opposite from the main character's harsh screaming at all times. So we were what's nicer and quieter than just a Midwestern concerned mom who wants grandchildren? Which I think we casted this well because Maria, no offense, Maria, she pulls off the crazy screaming. And I think I pull off, well, to your credit, you said, who wants to play the crazy one? And you said, I want to.
I'm also brunette. So that narrowed it down.
Yeah. Didn't you have the bangs from doing a podcast on Pride and Prejudice 2005? Yeah, it was meant to be. And I think I just give off more concerned parent vibes. So it was an easy decision. But yeah, Maria, talk about your makeup process. You had to give yourself a 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah, it was just eyeshadow, and I completely forgot that you would be able to see past my neck, so you can see exactly where that line ends, and I did not blend it. This was my first try at makeup for one of these, so I'm learning, and I was mainly focused on the voice, so...
So
Ben, it was my first time wearing makeup.
Yeah, I was going to ask you. What
actually,
were you using?
That's not true. Actually, grease makeup. It's really hard to get it off without lots of soap.
Oh boy!
And it gets everywhere. And then it also stuck around my eyes for a few days,
No.
just a little bit. So it was just a nice little eyeliner. And then it's washed off by now.
So you're not going to keep it a permanent makeup look for yourself?
I don't think so. My girlfriend did like the look of it, she said, so maybe again sometime. I'll wait for my hair to get a little longer.
So
Ed, I was going to ask about what your makeup process was in your film.
Yeah, so thankfully we had rush shipment from Amazon to get it that Saturday of the makeup tubes of white and black paint. And then Nikki, who is a friend of mine who's helped me out on a couple of movies, Nikki Smallwood, did the makeup on Mitchell, and like I could not do that kind of a makeup job. I wasn't sure how we were going to do that, and then Nikki just busted that out like in about 15 minutes, and it was incredible. So I'm very grateful. She's done this for us a couple times where because I met her as a set designer, but she's very multi-talented. She's a director. She does her own shorts as well. But she's done this a couple times where she just like, oh, you need makeup done, like doot doot doot, and like a character looks totally different.
Yeah, it was great. Mitchell's the name of the actor that was
Yeah.
the mime. They did a great job. Like amazing work. I love
Yeah, I was
it.
very lucky that for some reason a couple of very talented people agreed to help me out. I don't know why, but I'm very grateful that they did. But Ben, talk to me about score. So, because you composed the ending score to that, right?
Yes.
So, what was that like, and how did you come up with the score? Because and I guess talk about your inspirations behind it, because I have my guesses. Oh wow, that's
This
some good
one
looking
is
gear.
this is the main one. It's a fuzz flanger, sub bass, and phaser all in one, and it's based off of Dune. It's called a weirding module, and I don't know if you saw in the background, but I kind of like Dune.
I caught a couple glimpses, but I'm seeing a lot more now.
Yeah. So I just went fucking crazy and just started wailing on it with lots of chords, and then overlaid it multiple times, and tried to just go for a chaos vibe. I filmed part of it, just my gradual mental breakdown with an old DV cam, and then had to record it by playing it through a TV with
Okay.
my phone and cropping it. And when I was doing that, at one point, it made that really lovely feedback sound, which I grabbed and put into Logic and like duplicated and compressed and made it all wacky.
I love that as a found sound so much.
Yes. And then the song by Kevin MacLeod, Parisian, does a lot of the work for me, because if you just repeat that over and over again, you're going to start going insane, which is what I did. It was good.
Speaking of score, Thomas and Curtis, and Jack, what was the score for Aliens of Fortune? Because that was also pretty impressive.
That was just found on a free music archive. That's because I try to I'm a big fan of Kevin, but everyone's heard it, so whenever we have a speed competition, I can't compose. If I can't find someone to compose for me, I'll like try to find I'll just do a deep dive on either free sound or something for like a score that you haven't heard before. I really wanted to find the score that was used though in the original video, but I couldn't. It didn't have enough time to like reverse search and try to find it because Shazam wasn't working on that. So because I really do like the original score, so we just tried to find something that kind of matched the vibe.
That's funny, because one of the things I really like about yours is when that score kicks in. I mean, first off, the opening title is hilarious, about like uploaded to Google Drive in less than 24 hours, roughly. But then when that music kicks in, it felt like just the perfect, it's like close enough that it feels attached, but different. And so, you're getting kind of a different experience from it. So I thought you made a perfect choice with that music.
Yeah. And the beginning title, like when we saw that show up on the old one, it said burn to DVD. I'm like, oh my God, 2006, they were burning to DVDs. I remember when I used to do that for school projects. That's crazy. So we decided to do a modern take on that title card.
Y'all's film felt very much like an Aliens or Terminator 2 type of situation.
That was basically what it ended up being, because we were
bigger,
sitting there
faster,
like talking. And we're like,
more
Alien of
violent.
Fortune. I was like, James Cameron, when he did the pitch for Aliens 2, I'm pretty sure he just wrote aliens and then made the S a dollar sign, and that's what got him the funding. So it's like, let's just do that. But yeah, that kind of was an inspiration.
So Zach, as our sole representative of somebody who was in one of the original films, how does it feel to see the film remade?
Oh yeah, it was a lot of fun. I mean, I think that was brilliant, making it Aliens, the James Cameron style. I could tell you where that music came from. That's like an original loop from GarageBand. So you probably you wouldn't find it on a music site because it's not even a song. I don't know if GarageBand would still have the loop in it or what. But yeah, no, I mean it was pretty wild. All of these together, seeing them like were I liked how different everybody seemed to take them, and and how ambitious everybody took them. So it's pretty great. I guess I do have a question along those lines. I'd love to know, because everybody seemed pretty, when you watch the film, they seem like a very confident like plan. I'm curious to know if it was in fact a straight line, or were there any other routes or ideas you thought to go that you didn't end up going, or how difficult was it to land? Because particularly some of these were pretty different. So Ben, go ahead. I'm really curious because yours is pretty random. Pretty glorious.
Initially, I was going to go all the way through and do I don't know if anyone's seen Adaptation.
Yep.
That's the main inspiration for this one. Go all the way through and like actually have ChatGPT write a script that I then start making, and that then would loop around and I basically just condensed like the broad idea that I had into like a fewer scenes. But it was going to go slightly deeper at a few points at the beginning. ChatGPT was no help to me. It was just a plot point. The scripts it was writing were not very good.
Yeah, for our team, we actually really only took like an hour to write and plan everything, and then went our separate ways to film. But one of the ideas that I had, like Mari and I both going into this, were like, we're exhausted. We only have a couple hours. We didn't know if Silvana was going to be able to do anything from Scotland. I was sick, and I was like, okay. I was like, what if we just like, so the big ending with the dinner for two is that he's crazy and he's been talking to a mirror the whole time. I was like, what if we just like film one of us shopping in home goods, like in the mirror section, and like that's it. Just like a 20-second video of walking through the aisles and purchasing at the end. But we went the more complicated route. That idea was vetoed.
For our film, there are two things that I think of. Number one is I really wanted to, when we were first talking about ideas, I was like, is there any way we can make this a sequel to our 24 speed box sniffer? Can we make another box sniffer video somehow out of this? And that idea was very quickly shut down. Number one, because the actor from the original was only available for a few hours, so we wouldn't have been able to do it. The other thing is the fight used to be longer. There was more choreographed after I kicked him over the couch. And by the time we made it to filming that, Curtis was like, my head hurts. I was like, I'm tired. Let's just call it here.
Yeah.
We
I
can
was like, just kill me, get it over with.
So, yeah. And I think that one thing that we honestly didn't expect was or what changed was originally we were just going to do sort of like straightforward like action. Like it wasn't going to be serious, obviously, because like we couldn't really make it a serious action film. But there were just a few bits of comedy that came out for the hours that we had John, because we shot his scenes first and he would not stop acting like a robot and just like making jokes the entire time. And so that kind of infected us for the rest, for just a few of the other bits, like Curtis's end line and just guttural scream. Like that wasn't originally planned, but yeah, I don't know if my teammates have anything else to add to that, but
I mean, yeah, I mean, it never goes as planned. We had, but like, yeah, a lot of it kind of came out of like just kind of improvising because we had no shot list going in. We just were like, okay, we're gonna have three aliens. One of them's gonna go upstairs, one of them's gonna be on the first floor, and one of them's gonna be in the basement. How do we do this? And so it was a lot of improvisation from both performance and a shot standpoint, but we made it work.
So Ben, how much of yours was improvised?
So I texted Anna to ask her if she wanted to be in the movie, and she said yes. And then I told her the basic idea, and that was on Friday night. And so I had like time to kind of storyboard out the general idea of what I was going to film, and then did most of the filming on Saturday. But it I'm pretty sure that everything was just improvised in terms of dialogue.
That's wild.
We just kind of, she knew that she was supposed to discourage me from remaking her film, and since she lives in New York, I was like, be like a pompous New York director who's just way too good for me and doesn't even know who I am or remember that we took like half of our classes together.
Well, I was so curious if that was scripted or not because she does such a good job with it. But it flows so well too.
No, she's just great like that. That's just all Anna.
So Brooke, Mari, and Silvana, when you're one, I want to know how much of yours was improvised. Two, when you're doing your line readings, are you actually talking to each other, or are you basically doing that solo and then combining it in the edit?
I think we've done improvised before. This time we really did not, just because we were all in different places, and like this is our first global film, so we have Cleveland, Virginia, DC area, and Scotland just thrown in there. And so it really had to be like super scripted for it to all work. And yeah, I was occasionally my dad was in the room, but not speaking to anyone. He wasn't supposed to be there, but he was just hanging out in the background. So yeah, we were just kind of, I wasn't speaking to anyone. We weren't like on the phone or anything. So yeah, it was very much individual.
Yeah. We've done a mix, but usually we're pretty scripted in what we do. Usually we like brainstorm the outline and then we go through. Maria's like really good at dialogue writing. So usually we like throw out the idea of what we want the lines to say, and then she usually writes it down on a Google Doc, and we look at it and we like shout out any like minor changes. She had written down like, Mom, we don't like need to yell, we have a good connection, we have AT&T, and I was like, no, change it to Mint Mobile. I was like, Ryan Reynolds is the funniest like cell phone provider that we could have in there. So like sometimes we throw out minor changes, but this one we like pretty much had to stick with the lines because they all had to flow into each other and make sense. But no, we just recorded separately, and then when I was editing, was just trying to overlap it to give it the phone effect. And I realized actually too late, like I had already filmed in the morning. Maria was filming a little bit after me on Saturday morning, and I was like, I texted her, I was like, oh yeah, make sure to include like reaction shots to what I'm saying. Because I had completely forgotten to film myself just reacting. Like I had only recorded myself like filming my lines. So then I had to put the makeup back on. And I was like, thankfully I had like done it early enough in the day. And then I was like actually thinking about how I wanted to put the edit together. I was like, oh shit, I need to actually film myself reacting to like the crazy lines that Maria is saying. So makeup went right back on, Pinterest screenshot went back up on my phone, and the eyeliner came back out. And I took like one more shot of myself just like rolling my eyes and doing stuff like that. But yeah, generally we're pretty scripted.
Did you speak to the mirror? Is it that he ordered the mirror, or is it that there's a person holding a mirror who's the date that showed up?
I feel like it's like more the latter. I think it's like the date showing up. My dad said that he got hurt doing that stunt holding the mirror. But yeah, it was supposed to be kind of like the date appearing. But I didn't have anything to prop up the mirror, so that is my father lifting up the mirror. So yeah, I would say it's more the date arriving and then getting ready to go into the original film.
Yeah, but just ignore Greg's body behind it. Ignore the man behind the mirror. That, if I was really good at editing, would have photoshopped his hands out.
Well, I thought that was a good. I thought maybe that was like the change or the remake was that there's a person that's gonna hold the mirror the whole time.
Well, you know,
I really invested in this mirror character.
this is a film that's open to many interpretations.
The phone case, the man behind the mirror. We did all of this on purpose.
This was all intentional. We wanted you guys to think about it. Zach, I'm really glad you picked up on that on that little nugget that we left there at the end. It was totally intentional and not at all because Maria couldn't find something to prop.
Yeah, I was just say pro tip as storytellers: when somebody asks, just take credit.
Yeah, we got to work on our reactions here. Every time someone's like, "Hey, did you mean to have that really weird thing happen in there?" We're like, "Absolutely not." But okay, give us another one and we'll react differently to it.
So as we're getting close to the end of the event, I guess one last question for everybody is, if you could remake one movie, doesn't have to be a 24 speed, any movie, what would it be and why?
This is too big of a question to spring on a bunch of filmmakers at 10:30
That's
p.m.
fair.
I'm thinking. Oh man.
I got one.
Yeah.
I'd remake what the heck is that movie called? It's got Vincent Price in it. House on Haunted Hill. Is that what it's called? Yeah.
Yes, that's the movie.
Yeah, I'd remake that because it's just good enough without being like so great that it couldn't be redone, but it's just good enough that yeah, I'd do that again. Love that movie.
Citizen Kane. I don't know.
Go big or go home.
Yeah, you know, lots of room for improvements on that one, in my humble opinion. So,
I would say The Mummy, just because I love The Mummy and I want Brendan Fraser to have more steady work. Or Mean Girls as a musical, which is already happening.
Well, you're in luck.
Yeah.
Okay, I do have an answer. I actually thought of two answers, but I'll go with the one of them. The movie Overlord, which is, I don't know if anyone hasn't seen it. It's basically a World War II movie, except there ends up being zombies, and they don't. It's really great until it isn't, and I would like it to redo it so that it continues to be great until the end of the film, rather than just stopping being good halfway through.
Yeah, if you've ever played Call of Duty Zombies, it's sort of like that, the movie.
Mm-hmm.
I think for me, it would be Spaceballs, but serious.
So
I think
Star
it would
Wars?
be great if Spaceballs won an Oscar. I don't know. I feel like that would be the best Oscars speech ever.
I just think it'd be really funny to see a prestige TV version of Spaceballs.
I guess I'm the last one.
You are. We tried to buy you time.
Oh man. I'll get back to you.
Well, is there a movie that you hate that you would want to make better?
I don't know. Actually, it would be really cool to see um, a good remake of an American Werewolf in London.
Ooh.
There haven't been enough like really good werewolf movies recently. So something like that. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you everybody for being here. Thanks to our filmmakers for making movies for the 24 Speed Remake Challenge. Brooke and Mari, any parting thoughts before we close down?
Thank you for letting us contribute to this, and we had a lot of fun, and we are honored to team up with this whole event. Also, we just did a episode on The Haunting of Hill House with Ted himself, so you should all check that out.
I have no other words. She covered it all. No notes.